He is, oh. I'm gonna take you down. This is like a combination of like my worst fears and also like fascinating. Would you like to give the camera a kiss? The nice thing about boarding at a horse stable is that you get a bunch of free poop. I know. Your mom is over there. Well, I came to check on the llamas today. Oh, look at them all. They just came up to check me out, see what's going on. Hey, boys. You guys, I'm gonna need to spray you with fly spray soon, huh? Yeah. Fly and tick spray. Hi, Axel. Oh. You gonna let me? Oh my goodness! Normally he lets me put my arm around him, but he is, oh. Bonbon, what are you doing? Look at them. They have been grazing this pasture, and soon they're going to be going back to their old one. Yeah, they're going to be going home soon. Don't know where he's running off to. I'm going to check their water. Actually, it just rained. They probably have water. That's nice little decoration you got there, bud. Bonbon, this is why I say you're my favorite. Because you're willing to just chill with me. Bonbon was a good boy. Yes. Look at that little smile he's got. No. Oh, you have some itchy spots. Good boy. Look at how green and lush the pasture is. This is great. The grass is really, really high. Looks like the llamas can come back. This right here, though, this is not so great. So this here is called milk thistle. It's invasive. It's from Russia, I believe. And you can see it's just got these big big pointies that I just stabbed myself with. Really easy to accidentally stab yourself with them. And so no animals really like to eat them other than like the specific beetle. Oh, the dogs know I'm here. But that beetle doesn't live here because this is not native, so it doesn't have anything that really eats it. And it can just take over. This has gotten really pretty big. I'm gonna need my shovel to do it. I usually just use trowels when they're still pretty small, but I didn't catch a lot of these bigger ones. And you just have to pull them up before they go into seed, because once they're flowering, they can spread their seeds. And you can see I've got some. There's a big one over there that I'm gonna need to pull up. But in the pastures where people don't pull this stuff up, it just spreads, and it can get to like 6 feet tall. Like it can get to the height of a human. And at that point, it's like, how do you even cut it down? So this old patch of thistles has become this pile. And I swear, it looks like they're growing here, but they're not. It's just a pile of them. I'm stabbing them a little just in case so they don't come back. But you can see where it got really big, and it made the grass have to grow really long to try and get sunlight. You can see it's not as, it's like yellow. It's lighter at the bases here. Lost its chlorophyll because it wasn't getting sunlight. So now hopefully this cleared area will recover a little bit, and we'll get grass instead of thistles. Look at it. It's like looming in the distance. I'm gonna take you down. Oh no. Oh wow. Well, I might have to put off digging these up. So I actually recognize these ants as thatch ants, which are a species of ant that live locally, and they make these big ant hills using dried vegetation, which is why they're called thatch ants. It looks like these guys, though, are swarming around the entrance to their nest. And when I looked closely in there, you can kind of see it in the video, there are these big white objects that they are carrying around. And those, I suspect, are actually cocoons that they have young queens and males inside that are getting ready to hatch. And I could see in this swarm, there are some ants that have wings, and those are probably males and unfertilized queens who are preparing for a nuptial flight. And a nuptial flight is when a lot of males and females all fly from the nest, and they try and find other males and females and mate with them. And then those fertilized queens can start colonies of their own. And that's how new colonies are formed for ants. So this is actually very cool, a very exciting and eventful time for these ants. This is like a combination of like my worst fears and also like fascinating. Look at them. I think I'm gonna take out like the main thistle, but I'm gonna leave this little area over here. I'm gonna try not to disturb them, and we'll see how well. Because I don't want to get bitten by a whole bunch of ants, and also this is really cool, and I don't want to bother them preparing for their nuptial flight. Okay, I left them with a thistle leaf, but I was able to get all of the actual like main thistle. It was growing right next to their nest. Which is interesting because it looks like this is like the opening of the nest, but this here is the thatch, probably from like last year's nest. It's interesting. Look at this absolute unit. It's huge. I'm pretty sure this is just a single one. Look at this. There's just a bunch of bees hanging out inside of this California poppy. Wonder if they're tired? They're just taking a little break. Oh, Ace. Hello. Hi, buddy. This here is Ace. He's the horse that I am taking care of, that I adopted. Yes, he's a sweetheart. He's eating his lunch right now. Yeah, so Ace here is a very special horse. I basically adopted him from a family who could no longer take care of him. They were moving, and no one would purchase Ace because of his injured hip. So he had a hip injury where he had broken his hip, the point of his pelvis on that side right there. And he didn't have a limp or anything. He was walking just fine, but he couldn't be ridden. And he was also very underweight. He had lost a lot of weight. And so I was pretty much in the process of putting weight on him, trying to feed him. I had to start out feeding him pretty slowly and then increasing the amounts of food he got. So now he pretty much gets like as much food as he wants because he still has to gain probably around 200 pounds because he's still a little underweight. And his recovery was going really well. And then Mr. Clumsy here did something. I think he cast himself against the side of the stall, which is where they can't really get up. And I think he did something funky, and he broke his other hip. So now his other hip's broken, and he is limping, and he can only be taken on short little walks about 20 feet out onto the grass and back. But he's hanging in there. He gets pain meds right now when he needs it. So today he seemed pretty sore. So I gave him a gram of Bute, which is like horse aspirin, basically. How you feeling, bud? He's very into that food. Would you like to give the camera a kiss? Okay, good boy. Yes. Yes, good boy. Thank you. Thank you. The nice thing about boarding at a horse stable is that you get a bunch of free poop. Yeah, so my idea is I'm just bagging up. I have a bunch more bags. Bagging up manure, and then I'm going to put it on my garden beds that I'm making back at my house. And then I don't have to pay for manure, and I'm taking out some of the stuff that otherwise they have to hire someone to take away. I actually already did this and got like 3 of these huge bags full and thought that that would be enough. And that only covered like half of what I needed it to. So, back at it. Oh, it rained last night, which means that a lot of this poop is wet, which makes it so much heavier than last time. And it makes it smell more. Oh man, worm? He's a worm. I'm gonna pick him up. Hey, bud. What are you doing? He doesn't like this. Look at all those worms. All right. Oh my God. God. I can't do this with one hand. Home sweet home. So I sold all of the ducklings except for this little guy because the last person wanted only females, and we had just this one male left. And I got worried that he would get lonely because he was peeping a lot for his siblings. So I tried to get one of our mother ducks to adopt him. Julia, you can't pick him up. You can't pick him up like a little puppy. Be gentle. Good girl. Thank you. Yes, hi. And he's following her around. So I tried to get the mama duck who was being all broody to, good girl, to adopt him, but she knew that he was too old to be hers, so she was being protective and didn't accept him as her own baby. So I brought him back in here, and Julia really likes ducklings. She always likes to let them cuddle her and that sort of thing. So I was like, okay, what if I just kind of leave him out to walk around with her? And I think I have a house duckling now. It just occurred to me that he is so attached that I don't know what I'm gonna do when I have to like leave the house or when I go to bed, because Julia sleeps in the bed with me and I'm not sleeping in my bed with a duckling because they're little poop monsters and I don't want poop all over my sheets. Spoiler alert, I sleep with the duckling at night now. Thank you for watching our vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, happy trails.